What is going on, nerds? Mark here, and we are back with a new tech video, and we're going to take this Cooler Master build and put it in this brand new QUBE 500 Cooler Master case. This case you're supposed to build as you unbox it. That's why it's packed flat. It's supposed to be eco-friendly. Not to mention it also fits a full-size ATX board, a full-size power supply, and a full-size GPU. So this case, although it is packed small, should be able to build any computer you'd like. So we got our star of the show, Jose. He's gonna be helping us out unbox and build this computer here. As you can see, this is a full-size ATX build, and we're gonna prove that we can put this full-size computer in this flat-packed QUBE 500. Oh my god, I was wrong.
It comes with different panels. So look at this. Can you take off that blue light?
So I thought this case only came with the green panel, but it actually gave you all of the mint, cotton candy, pastel looking colors in the box, and I'm pretty sure.
So this is one.
That is one.
This is two. And then we got numero tres right there. As I'm looking at it, you can easily replace this with this and have like two yellows or two pinks. We also found these attachments, right? So here's your front panel. Here are hooks. You just kind of place it in there, and now you have a mount for your headset. That's pretty cool, right? You have multiple headsets. No worries, you got multiple hooks. Good job.
So these hooks came right out of the box, no additional purchase needed, as well as the, what is this, the handle for the case?
This is the handle. We still have to build the case, so I don't necessarily know how this works yet, but we'll definitely come back to it. The caveat, I have everything out already, but when building this, you should have all the components ready. We cheated because we wanted to show you everything. We also cheated by looking at the video so that we know what the f is happening. Before putting all the bolts and the nuts, I just wanted to see how, you know, there's so many grooves here and they kind of interlock. So it's really interesting to see how they like really work. One thing that I realized, which very, very big plus for this case, is the machinery is insane. Look at how they mount the power supply. So you have little grooves right here for the screws, and then they slot right there. And look at this. That's so cool.
So pretty good build quality.
Amazing build quality.
So we just installed that screw right there, and then this one right here. And that's so we can add more reinforcement to the sides of the case, because without it, it's a little wobbly. I mean, it's still slightly wobbly right now, but not really at all compared to what it was, and it's gonna get even better. So you can see right here, we're putting the final screw in for reinforcement, along with the necessary screws to get in that last panel there.
They honestly fit like Legos. So that's the beauty of this. No, I think we're just gonna have to route it this way.
So this case supports up to 280 millimeter radiators. So you should be fine, no problem with the average 240. But don't think you're gonna get any 360 triple fans out there. It will just not fit at all. There's gonna be no space. You can actually have this case laying flat or upwards.
Okay. So this is the bottom part, right? It got feet.
Let me see them feet. Let me see them feet. I don't want to see them.
So they actually snap on, which.
Okay, once they're on, they're on.
No, that's a lie. Yo, let's cut that off real quick. So they come off, right? They snap on like that. Here's the best part. Mark said it earlier that you could either have it upright like a typical PC, or you could have it laying down like this so that the glass panel is what you see. at the top, literally exactly like this. So here's the bottom panel, right? This is what it looks like. And here's the feet. It snaps on. That's insane. Beautiful, beautiful.
It was pretty
machinery.
modular.
It's very modular. Like I said, everything fits like a Lego. You know you're doing something wrong when it's not fitted right. I see the holes line up. I know where the screws are. You almost don't need the instructions, but obviously we got it.
So it looks like the radiator we were using is just way too big for this case. So what we're doing is we're lowering the power supply to a lower mount on the case to make up some space. Another cool feature from the QUBE 500, the ability to maneuver the power supply. We're gonna lower the power supply down a level. We're gonna make room for this hefty radiator because the radiator is just too big. It's actually one of the biggest radiators I've ever seen.
The case knew that it would be a problem having different settings for how high or low you want your PSU is a good plus. If you have this mounted like this, we go down, it has the space. Look at that.
Here he is. This shit's happening. I forgot I gave you guys the rights to tear my computer apart. Goddamn.
Why? Were you gonna use it?
No, look at me. I can't use shit.
Oh shit.
And then what's this? Because this is
That's
another
a back
mesh.
panel.
This is the back panel?
Yeah.
That's cool.
We are doing a live review. Do you have any live comments?
I mean, so far, for what it is, I really like the aesthetic it gives off. It gives a very like industrial, like Wall-E. I don't know if you know what I mean, like Wall-E-esque aesthetic. I don't know, that sounds a little weird, but it's super cool. Like the modularity of the case. It's very interesting that they mounted the PSU this way. I thought
That's what I thought too, but it creates so much space.
So this case came with, luckily, another handle other than the white one. They provided a green one.
Nope,
Go.
blue.
Teal.
It's blue?
Like teal. Like the blue.
I think it's considered mint.
Is it?
Mint.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'll go
it
with
is
mint. I'll give up mint for it.
They provide an Allen key in the box because you have to actually kind of work your way in there a little bit.
So this is a front panel connector. Typically on like older PCs, you have to tediously plug all the front panel like switches for the reset button, the power button, make sure all the lights work, plug them in these tiny little needles, and now they all have it just jam-packed in one connector, which you just plug in and your front panel is now installed. Beautiful.
It's a smaller form factor, so you're gonna need to kind of figure that out before you go into it.
The smaller the case is, the more planning you definitely have to do. Because this is being built as well, I feel like there's extra planning so that everything goes smooth. Everything can be done.
But this is nice.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. Look at this. I can just lift this up. So when you talk about the wiring, you got to think about the modularity of the case does help you because you can remove pieces of the case that aren't fixed.
100%. I agree with that.
Wires go all kind of like in this slot here. Alright, so we're not going to do it for this video here, but as you can see, we didn't prep the case because we have these wires ran over here. But you could definitely fit, I believe, 3 fans down here. Maybe not.
It depends. You gotta get small at 200 mil.
Yeah, these fans might not be able to do 3. These are probably 120. Yeah, these are 120s. So you can't do 3 120s on the bottom. All right, nerds, we have finally finished putting together the QUBE 500. As you can see, very clean build. It did take us a while to actually get us into a clean build like this. The wire management really did have to be planned out, but I guess that really goes for any smaller PC build now. I don't want to take credit away from this PC, or this case rather. Sometimes it just gets a little hairy where you have to really plan out the wires, but there was certainly enough space for even like the bigger of parts out on the market. You could see the size of that radiator right there. So I took the front panel off so you could see better. See, this is a pretty big radiator. Obviously we do have one of the bigger graphics cards right here, but it all fits very nicely. Plenty of space on the bottom if you do it right for fans. Now, we didn't really set us up for victory here, but I do believe this case could certainly put fans down there. Maybe you could fit one here if you get the right size. So there it is. Jose left us open in the back here so we could see the wire management. Pretty tight, but clean, you know, there's kind of just enough space for everything. We have our 2 hard drives back here mounted cleanly. You don't even see them at all in the front. But overall, the back also very clean, not many gaps at all. Sometimes you find like there's like a little gap here, but not this one. We have a beautiful white port, fully flush look. I guess the only part that's hollow would be this section right here. I'm not really sure. Although it is a little plasticky, it still feels quite robust for what it is. All right, so those are my final opinions on the QUBE 500, but I want to hear what my man Jose has to say because he put a lot of time and effort into this machine here.
So I have a few things that I want to talk about. First things first is the build quality. I was saying it the whole time that I was building it. It felt like Legos. Everything fit so perfectly with everything that needs connection. Each panel was perfectly in line, not much wiggle room. I was really surprised with how the mounting of the power supply was. It's very sturdy. I wasn't really sure about it in the beginning, but it worked out. The second thing I want to talk about would be wire management. For the most part, the smaller the case is, the more planning that you really need. So obviously coming from a big case like that one to a smaller case like this one, and having all the components fit needed a lot of planning and a lot of time to just pre-wire everything before you screw everything in. With that in mind, what's the beauty of this is because it's so modular and you can just take out one screw, move out some stuff, you can make so much room for you to do all the wiring that you need. Biggest part where I really love would be in terms of wire management would be this part. They just added a huge indent for you to just be able to pack your wires in. And honestly, we didn't even try to really wire manage this. We put one zip tie just so that it stays in place, but yet honestly it looks cleaner than my own personal PC. So in terms of would I buy this, yes and no. So would I recommend this to someone? It depends on who you are. And what I mean by that is big recommendation for enthusiasts, not a recommendation for beginners. So if this is your first PC that you're about to build, I'd stay away from this. It's already a headache to learn how to build a PC. It's really not, but it could be a headache. I come from a bigger case, and as I get older, I want to make it smaller, and this form factor definitely fits that taste. It takes a little more work, it takes a little more time, but at the end, it's all worth it. Would I recommend it? 100%. I'll give it a 8.5 out of 10 for sure.
What does that translate to letters? Because we rank hardware by letter.
I'll give it an 8.9.
That's still a number.
No. I'll give it an 8.9 for a B+, A-.
Okay, I'll think about that.
So if you're looking for something that's a little more out of the ordinary, you want tan, you want pink, you want mint, then go buy the QUBE.
After thinking about it, Noisy Pixel is giving the Cooler Master QUBE 500 case an A-. Boy, do I love Cooler Master products. Affordable, fun, unique, and innovative products rarely disappoint in quality, yet they still remain fairly underground relative to mainstream markets. Sometimes it just doesn't hurt to try something new. If you wish to read more about this case, please check out the link in our description to see our website, noisypixel.net, where we have a full review of this case along with a pros and cons list. Thank you for watching. Noisy Pixel is a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all of our future content. See you, nerds.
Noisy Pixel.